This shiny came as a gift, but gift wrapped in curse. Jane laughed. You will stumble, Goblin. So many ones your friends will cry. But curse backfired. Look at it. Forged hollow metal, black as midnight cavern. Numbers etched in the blood red, glowing like runes carved in battle. It rings where it rolls, not just flat, but thin, like tiny war drum on a table. Friend gave it to Goblin. Call it special gift. Hollow, sharp, cursed. Perfect bait for greedy hands. From the outside, it screams doom. But inside, maybe Jin car's not working as planned. The easiest way to verify that will be looking on the graph. Let's start with magic roll spread. At first glance, madness. 75 ones. Any table would call that cursed. But look closer. The 19s almost make up for it, showing up strong. Deuce barely exist. 3s stray at the bottom. The middle pack, 4s, 5th, and 6s behave almost perfectly fair, though 6s seem to fight a little to bump low faces combat. And here's the twist. Despite all those crit fails, the shiny still pulls an average of 10.7. Plenty of 80s and 90s carried away. The 20s though, disgraceful. We get heroes of the bunch. Ooh, that's a unique heat map. The heat shows a strange split. The left side of the map burns red, wands blazing, 19s flaring bright, but the right side, cold, pale, drained of fire. Those 20s, even some middle faces, vanish into ice. It's not balanced, it's not scattered, it's bipolar. One half of the shiny alive with fire, the other side frozen stiff. All of this makes the Wobble Index more interesting. With such extreme, ones screaming at the bottom and 19s skiving at the top, you'd expect chaos. But the wobble stays mild. The shiny doesn't topple off the table, it sways, it staggers, but it keeps balance in its own twisted way. Meanwhile, 16 and 17s skulk at the edges, not gone, but never stealing the spotlight. Like gloomstalkers in the dungeon corridors, always present, but never center stage. So the spread and the wobble together tell a strange tale. Madness at the bottom, redemption near the top, and the rhythm that still holds steady above the line. The great number Stampede, beginning chaos. After the first 200 rolls, the pack clumped together, with the 6s nosing ahead. Steady, simple, nothing too strange. But then the 1s made their move. By the next 200 rolls, they sprinted to the front, way too early, like they forgot that races are won at the end. And still, they kept sprinting, holding their lead far longer than any goblin would think possible. Near the finish, the 1s stumbled. The 9s overtook them, racing strong, so sure of victory. and we all fought. Good. Let the little crit fail rest at last. But no, the ones drag themselves back up. Does it have relentless endurance? Do we need to take its lineage? And look on that final desperate dash. A sprint that no one wanted, but no one could stop. And in the end, the ones won. Why am I cheering? This is not a good news. This is bitter, cursed triumph. And the nines who deserved the crown got shoved aside, down to third place by the 90s of all faces. Every stampede ends bittersweet. And no, I'm not biased, not at all. Let's take a peek at the cherry picker's cans. In a best 100 rolls, the shiny feels touched by fortune. The average soars to nearly 11.8. High rolls keep stumbling out, 80s and 90s carrying the banner. It's a glimpse of glory, a chapter where the die feels truly blessed. But turn the page to the worst 100 rolls, and the story sinks fast. The average drops below 9.3. Every handful weighs down by low number. A slog, a stumble, the kind of stretch that makes you hide the shiny in your pocket. Put them side by side, and the wobble is clear. This die doesn't march steady. It swings between triumph and despair. Kicks that feel like victory, body that tastes like curses. So the charts show their tale. Madness, recovery, wild swings. But numbers are only half of the story. Let's leave the goblin's math behind and watch how it truly happened. The clatter on the table, the rhythm of rolls, and a tale of a cursed gift. Long ago, Goblin wandered too far into the desert. Sunburned, water gone, belly empty. Every step was heavier than the last, until smoke rose from the sand, and out came a djinn, coiled in fire and laughter.
You look weak, little one.
Took the channel?
What would you give for strength? For power in your shiny rock?
Goblin's eyes lit up. Strength in my shiny? Yes, that's what every goblin needs. But the djinn smiled, curled like a knife.
Then we must bargain. Nothing comes free. Give me something no goblin should part with, and the shiny shall be yours.
Goblin stretched his belly, fought long and hard. Then, with a grin, he pulled from his sack a single stale crust of bread. Hard as stone, older than memory. My hunger. Capture right there. You take it, I'm free. The djinn frowned.
That is not hunger. That is garbage.
Goblin grinned wide. Exactly. That's what hunger feels like. Always chewing, never full. You keep it, I'm free. Bound by his own words, the djinn seized the crust and with a booming laugh declared,
Then Your shiny shall be cursed. More failures than you can bear.
But the curse twisted, tangled, and slipped. The shiny rolled crooked, sometimes cruel, sometimes kind, never quite broken. The goblin gnawed on a fresh loaf and laughed. The gin was left with a crust that tasted of nothing, and the goblin with a gift that should have ruined him, but somehow didn't. And now, before I reveal the Great Goblin's Dice Report card, smash that subscribe, toss a like, or feed me a comment. Goblin's belly is empty without it. And now, the part we all have been waiting for. The Great Goblin's Dice Report card. Let's start with critness. 4. It crits now and then, but if you are starving for crits, don't touch it. And no, we don't count fake crits here. Rolliness. 5. Quite average. The hollow feel of the metal is strange. Not bad, not great. Just there. Charismaticness. 6. It stands out. It's got its style. But maybe just not my style. Fortitude. 3. The total lack of twos and threes swapped for a flute of ones. Doesn't feel fair. If it had gifted a few more 20s, maybe. But 3 is the best I can do. Goblin's objective score? 5. Yes. The average landed high somehow, but goblins give fair and objective scores. And the fair objective score here is 5 because of reasons. So that's the tale of the hollow metal shiny. A gift wrapped in curse. A curse that tripped over its own feet. Jean walks away with nothing. Goblin walks away with, could be worse. Until next time, may your shinies roll true. May your goblins grin wide. And may Lo Jean ever bargain for your stale bread. It might not work next time.
It definitely won't.